Hey beauties, welcome to Midday Motivation. I am Hope Knowles and I am here to get you motivated. I am so happy that you tuned in. If this is your first time joining me, I encourage you to hit subscribe. You can also click that bell so you'll get a notification every time I post a new video. Midday Motivation is every Monday and Thursday right here on YouTube, so you want to make sure that you don't miss out. So let's dive right in because I got some good stuff to share with you guys today. I told you I've been on break because amazing things have been happening in my life, and they truly have. I want to share them with you, not to brag on me or gloat or anything like that, but to show you how good God is. And I can't show you how much He's blessed me without first showing you where He brought me from. So you guys, if you follow me, you know I've been working on purchasing a home. So I finally closed on my house. Yay! I closed, I moved in, and moving alone is a chore. And not only was I moving my house, but I was moving my business since I work from home. So I'm moving home, I'm moving business. It was a lot. It was a lot, but it was a good lot. But it was a lot, and I had to get my life in. So I moved in, moved my home, my business, everything, and I am in my new house. The day I closed, I shared it with the people closest to me. Of course, they knew it was coming up, and my brother was one of those people who has supported me every step of the way. But he sent me this picture, and he called me when he sent me the text, and he was like, "Hey, are you driving?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm leaving the closing. You know, gotta go get the truck so I can get moved in." And he was like, "I just need you to look at this picture as soon as you can. I need you to look at it, and as soon as you look at it, give me a call." I was like, "Okay." So I looked at the picture, and it was this picture. And to you, this picture may look like trash, like it's a junkyard. But what you don't understand is in February of 2016, that was my reality. That was my front yard. That was everything that I owned sitting out on my front yard, being thrown out by the sheriff. My brother was there to help me get my things in storage and help me and my son secure some place to live. I think it's important for you to be able to see where I was to truly appreciate where God has brought me to. I want this to be a message of encouragement to you today, because you may be in a stormy season, you may be in a rocky season, you may have endured some loss, but I'm here to tell you that you serve a God of restoration. You serve a God of purpose and intent. And while I was in that season, I didn't understand the purpose behind my pain. I didn't understand why I had to be in that position. And yes, there were moments when I said, "God, why me? I'm working so hard, why me?" And I had to remind myself that my best is a filthy rag, so I can't earn His grace, I can't earn His goodness. So even though I was doing all these amazing things, what was happening to me may not have been a result of something that I've done, but it was a process that God needed me to go through. I've been able to help so many people with my testimony over the years, and I wouldn't have had it if I hadn't have walked through that. It brought me so much closer to God going through that process. I wouldn't have been able to grow closer to Him if I hadn't have gone through it. I learned what it meant for His strength to be made perfect in my weakness. So I had to walk through that season in order to come out on the other side, in order to go to the next step that God has for me in life. And now, 4 years later, almost 4 years to the T, I'm buying my own house. But it wasn't a struggle the whole 4 years. No. I lost my house in February of 2016. In May, the very end of May of 2016, I got a call from someone, and she told me that God had placed me on her heart, and she had a home that she was going to give me and my son to live in, to get back on our feet. And she wanted to help me out. I didn't know what help me out meant. I didn't know until I moved in and got the key that she literally was giving me a 3-bedroom house to live in for free for a year. Yeah, less than 6 months after losing everything. And I remember on the day when I lost it, and I can't even say lost everything because I had my health, I had my wealth, but you know, losing my home, it was unsettling. But on the day that it happened, I remember praying and asking God that night. I was like, I'm supposed to minister on Sunday, and this was on a Monday. I'm like, I'm supposed to go and feed your sheep on Sunday, and I'm so broken, and I still love you and I still believe in you, but my faith has been shaken. So how am I supposed to go out and minister when my faith has been shaken? Because what happened to me today feels cruel, and I don't understand the why, God. And I can't say that my faith is exactly where it needs to be, because I'm hurt and I'm lacking understanding, and I'm feeling disappointed because I thought you were going to save my home and you let me lose it. But I submit, I surrender, and I'm going to do what it is that you tell me to do. And I had to have that real conversation. I remember getting up ministering from a very broken place, but still doing it, allowing the Holy Spirit to lead me, Lives were changed, people were saved, and it was amazing. But what people didn't realize is how broken I was on the inside. But what's so awesome and amazing about God is he always rewards a sacrifice. And so I didn't realize it at the time, but just my level of obedience, I was sowing seeds of a harvest that was going to come later. My obedience was sowing seeds into a ground that was going to manifest a blessings and bountifulness that I couldn't have imagined. So I got that house. I got a job in August because I was out of work, hence why I lost my house. I got a job in August of 2016. Then I purchased a car in February of 2017. Then I purchased another car in September of 2017. And while I was packing to move, and my closing date had been changed, and I was so discouraged because I had to be out of my current home by a certain date. I had to be out by that Saturday. And I was supposed to close on my house that Friday. My closing date was changed twice throughout the process. And so I found out I was not going to be able to close that Friday. I would not be able to close until that Monday. But I had the whole moving crew and everybody. So I had to pack up my house in the moving truck on a Saturday, stay with friends, park the truck in her neighborhood. Thank God I was able to do that, and then move into my house on Monday after I closed. But through that process, I found this phone because I was so frustrated and so irritated, and instead of being thankful and grateful that I was buying a house and being able to see my blessings, I was frustrated that things weren't working out the way that I wanted them to, and trying to figure out the logistics of having to change this date, this closing date, and what that looked like. And then I found this phone. And this phone was that reminder of 2016, because when I moved into my house in February, in June of 2016, after I had lost everything, this was my cell phone, an Obama phone, loaded with 250 prepaid minutes a month. I had no internet in my house. I remember going and sitting in a parking lot of McDonald's and connecting to the free Wi-Fi so I could check my email to see if a job had responded to me. I remember having to go to the library and apply for jobs because I was having to improve my situation, but I didn't even have the proper tools. I could have easily made an excuse and been like, well, I can't look for a job, I don't have internet. No, get up, go to the library. And I had my cell phone, which was a smartphone, it just wasn't on. So I would connect that to the free Wi-Fi at McDonald's, check my email. When I had job interviews, I would sit in the parking lot, look up the directions, download them to the phone, because I wasn't gonna have no GPS once I pulled out the parking lot, and then drive to the job interview. That's literally how I went to the interview for the job, the company that I work for now. I have a different position now because I've been promoted, but that is how I interviewed for that job. I drove 40 miles with no GPS. Like, I had to go old school, download it. So if I got lost, wasn't no recalculating because wasn't no cell phone. This was my cell phone. This is what was on with my 250 prepaid minutes a month. My Obama phone. And so when I looked at that, it was like, wow, I see how I've grown. I see how God has blessed me. I see how God has restored me. And so I wanted to talk to you today and let you know that you serve a God of restoration. You also serve a purposeful God. So I told you before, I had to walk through everything that I went through. It was a necessary part, and I walked through it. I made it through it. And now that I've made it through it, I can see the why behind it. And then we serve a God of restoration. I lost that 3-bedroom house in a neighborhood that was okay, and now I live in a great neighborhood. I have a beautiful 4-bedroom home. I've purchased cars. I've received increase, and everything that I've lost, God has given back to me more. So I wanted to give you guys 2 of the Bible verses that really helped me throughout that dark time period of my life. And there was a lot. I had scriptures, and I called them my weapons of mass destruction. And I had printed them out, and I basically wallpapered my prayer nook with these scriptures. And I would sit there, because I didn't have cable or internet or anything. I would sit there and just spend time with God and meditate on his word. And so the first one is Luke 10:19, and this is the Amplified. It says, listen carefully. I have given you authority that you now possess to tread on serpents and scorpions, and the ability to exercise all authority over all the power of the enemy Satan, and nothing in any way will harm you. Now, even though they were talking about, like, Jesus had sent out his disciples, and that's what they were talking about because they had cast out demons, what's so great about God's word is that not only can it apply to the situations that it was written to, but it can apply apply to your life now. So when I was in that dark season, when my power was about to get cut off, or I didn't know where I was going to live, I was like, you know what, God, you've given me the power to trample over serpents and scorpions. So nothing is going to hurt me in any way. And God, I know that I can get through this with you. So Satan, you may think you coming for me, but not up here today, boo-boo. No, 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 no. My daddy got me. And I had to remind myself of that word. Another one was Ephesians 3:20, and this is the Amplified. And it says, now unto him who is able to carry out his purpose and do superabundantly more than all we dare to ask or think, infinitely beyond our greatest prayers, hopes, or dreams, according to his power that is at work within us. So that is just saying that, like, the power of God that lives inside of you, the Holy Spirit, he's able to give you exceedingly abundantly more than you could ever think or dream or imagine. So everything that you're believing God for, he can give you more. He can blow your mind, but you have to trust him. You have to claim it when it doesn't look like you're going to get what you wanted to get. Like, nobody thought 4 years ago when my brother was taking that picture and I had lost everything that I would be buying my own house. Nobody thought somebody would have gave me a house to live in for free. Nobody thought I would have received a job and got 4 promotions in 3 years. Nobody thought that. But I serve a God that says he will give me exceedingly abundantly beyond all that I ever ask or think. I understand that the power of life and death lives in my tongue, and I choose to speak power to my life. I choose to speak power over debt situation and over dry bones and cause great things to come forth and manifest. In light of the state that our world is in right now with COVID-19, with the racial and social injustices that are going on, I want to leave you with this final verse, the verse that is speaking to me right now, which is Psalm 40:1-2, and this is the Living Bible. It says, I waited patiently for God to help me. Then he listened and heard my cry. He lifted me out of the pit of despair, out of the bog and the mire, and set my feet on a hard, firm path, and steadied me as I walked along. So I want you to take rest in knowing no matter what you're going through in this season in life right now, no matter how scary it may be, you serve a God that will hear your cry. You serve a God that will steady you and place you on the path, and the right path. And then you can fall back on those verses that I gave you. When things come at you, when you feel like you're losing, when you feel like the world is against you, know that you have the power to trample over serpents and scorpions, and that nothing that the enemy sets out to do can harm you in any way. Know that you serve a God that will give you exceedingly abundantly all beyond all you could ever ask or think. So beyond your wildest dreams, anything that you could ever imagine, he could bless you. Rest in that fact. Know that you have the power to speak life and death in your tongue. So start speaking life to your situations. Stop accepting negativity. Stop allowing the hard thoughts, the bad thoughts to take root in your heart and mind. Cast those out. Take your thoughts, your feelings, your heart to God. The same way I had to go to him when I lost my house and say, God, my faith is shaking right now. And I'm hurt and I'm broken. I don't know what to do. But I'm still here with you. And I need you. And I can't do it without you. Go to him, surrender. Pour out your heart to him. God is asking you to pour it out to him. Give it to him. Everything that is happening to you is happening for a reason. And I can't tell you what the reason is, but God will reveal it to you in his own proper timing. And trust and believe that anything that you've lost, he is a God of restoration. You will get through this, and you're not alone. As always, if you have prayer requests, you can put them in the comments. You can DM me privately. I want to pray with you. I am here for you. I want you to keep going after your hopes and your dreams, even though we are in a season of what many would say is famine. We're in a dark season and a dark time. I wanted to show you how God is still blessing me so that you can see that he can bless you. So I want you to continue to walk in your purpose, with purpose, on purpose, knowing that you serve a limitless God. I love you so much. I am Hope Knows. This has been your midday motivation, and I will see you on Monday, people, for our next midday motivation. Make sure you go ahead and hit subscribe if you hadn't. Subscribe. Bye.